Hello, everyone, and welcome to our commentary of Mulan.
Awesome.
I don't think I've
What-
seen this movie before properly.
Well,
Really?
then you're in for a treat.
This is my favorite non-Disney Pixar movie. For Disney movies, anyway.
Don't you mean non-Pixar Disney movie?
But non-Disney Pixar movie, yeah.
Fine, whatever. It's our favorite Disney Animation Studios film. There you go. That's all
Yeah,
you need to
there
know.
we go. Thank you.
And it's a film about a Chinese woman pretending to be a guy with a dragon voiced by Eddie Murphy.
Based
Yeah.
on a true story.
Anyway, basically, audience, just for the sake of timelessness, we're gonna skip the Disney logo, and we're gonna start immediately right after. I know we're not gonna. I know that there's still no Blu-ray release of this movie that inserts the new Disney logo, but we're just doing
There's
it.
one coming.
But there's one coming eventually. It's Disney after all, so basically we're gonna do this just for the sake of making the commentary already prepared for that eventual release. All right, so basically we're gonna start with the original in the DVD copy. Sorry, all you have to do is pause at 14 seconds. There's only one cut of this movie, so I'm pretty sure it will be the same that we were using. Pause at 14 seconds. You should be seeing a black screen right after the Disney logo, and just you'll be in sync with us. So is everybody ready?
Yep.
Go ahead, Shiri.
All right, enjoy.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, click.
Now, this movie, I feel, actually did the whole... I think this was Disney's first actually getting the whole female protagonist thing done right.
Yeah, it
No
was.
offense to, older Disney films, but, well, they were,
Well, yeah.
Okay, so we start off with typical Chinese line drawings.
And one of my favorite Jerry Goldsmith scores.
Oh, Jerry Goldsmith did this score.
Yeah, he did.
Oh,
definitely one of Disney's better soundtracks.
The vocal tracks are really amazing.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, Dwibs, believe it or not, this is actually based on a true story of a woman who became a soldier in an army back in the day.
back in ancient China times, I assume.
Yes.
Alright.
I believe this is feudal China.
And this was 1998.
Yeah, I forget what's different about this in history. Maybe there was something about it not being that hard for her to get into the army. Like maybe they were more legitimate, more willing, and I'll look it up.
Yes, I don't know much about the history of the actual story. But I remember, this is one of the films I actually watched in the cinema, and in 98, you said?
Yeah, 1998.
Yeah.
That I would have been about 5 or 6 years old watching this.
I was 3 at the time this movie was released.
I was approaching 4.
I was like,
No, approaching 5, sorry.
I was like, probably 13, 14 around that time. I don't know. I don't remember.
Fuck the China. I am guy who likes to burn
For those who
flags.
don't know, China has a wall of a giant wall surrounding the.
That was a sudden cut.
For those who don't know, China has a giant wall surrounding the entire country, and that's basically the thing that they actually do back in these days. Light all the fires so that everybody knows that the country is in danger. I mean, like the guy said, everybody in China already knows that he's there.
I believe you can see that wall from space.
Yeah, you can. It's
The Great Wall of China.
yeah.
It's actually viewable from space. Yeah,
I think it's one of the world's greatest wonders.
it is. Yeah.
It is.
Which you can apparently repair with your eyes.
Aha! But remember, Dwibs, you have to be from Krypton.
Oh, and by
to do
the
that.
way, our voice of the Emperor of China is actually voiced by Pat Morita. For those who don't know, he's Mr. Miyagi. That's right, Mr. Miyagi is the Emperor of China.
And who's
Sure,
voicing
why not?
Mulan?
That would be Ming Na.
Oh, Chun-Li from the first Street Fighter live-action film.
Yeah. And she also went on to be the voice of the main character from Final Fantasy Spirits Within. Poor woman. It's a shame because I really love Ming Na.
Honestly, I didn't think she was that good in Street Fighter 1, the movie.
Well,
She was also in the
Well, then
1994.
Well, then again, she was in a shit movie. What did you expect?
I actually kind of enjoy that movie.
True, but no, don't get me wrong, dude. I enjoy it too. It doesn't change
I
the fact
certainly
that...
enjoy it more than the Mortal Kombat film. And no, I'm not even I'm not even an expert on Street Fighter either.
Don't get me wrong, I enjoy that movie too, but that doesn't change the fact that it's shit.
Yeah, I know. I guess Stephen D. Souza is a better writer than he is a
Alright,
director.
hold on.
Let's see. She was also in the 1994 film called Hong Kong 97.
What?
Yes, there's a film
yeah.
called
Yeah,
Hong
the
Kong
one from-
97.
Oh yeah, the one with Robert Patrick.
You weren't mistaking it with that game, were you?
I remembered what AVGN said in this review.
This is a reference to an old Chinese tradition where they pray to their ancestors, not so much God, the ancestors.
Okay, Joe, but can I ask you something?
What?
In the film, was the villain Tao Xiongping turned into the ultimate weapon?
I don't know. I haven't seen that film. I was just looking up her filmography.
Right.
I thought you'd get a kick out of that since, you know.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll be right back. My washing machine's being annoying again.
Dwybs versus the washing machine. Round
I
4.
guess Dwybs has chores to do too.
Don't worry, it's only turning off the washing machine.
Faithful father, ladies and gentlemen. Although, to be honest, I can't really blame him.
So yeah, for those that don't know, back in the old days, this was back when women were kind of, not
Wives.
Well, basically, basically, she's supposed to be a housewife and shit. So back in China, there was this matchmaking thing where basically every woman, when they reach legal age, they have to go to this matchmaker ceremony so they can, learn how to please their husbands.
Counter Lucky Stars, that's not the song era. Ooh, the song era was terrible. They actually broke women's feet just to keep them from growing.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
What do you mean by stop them from growing?
Okay, basically in the song era, apparently in China there was this tradition that a woman whose feet was too big would have a lot of misfortune, would never make a good wife and whatnot. So in the song era, a lot of the higher class families would often have their daughter's feet broken at like a certain age to keep their feet from growing. Yeah.
Model parenting, everyone.
Yeah.
Thankfully, the song era was not that long-lived. Thank goodness.
Okay.
I have to say it.
So this is the first song. You'll be one of. You'll bring honor to us all. Because back in these days, honor was literally everything to a Chinese family. Like if you're dishonored, that's like the worst thing. And shit.
Hang on, I thought honor was a Japanese stereotype.
Actually, no. That
China, remember?
It wasn't just. Yeah, let's not forget that in the same way that America derived from England, Japan derived from China. So.
Yes. Also,
I love this joke. Hold on,
doesn't it
I love
also
this joke. Hold on.
Doesn't the same thing also apply in both China and Japan, where the family name is more important than the first?
Well, I'm not an expert, but
Sometimes,
I
yeah.
think so. Yeah.
It's a mixture nowadays. Some people still stick with the old times, some don't.
Also, this song is quite underrated.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Rated? What?
Underrated, I
like
said.
it.
Especially because, with the exception of the obvious difference, this song is exactly like Make a Man Out of You.
I mean, these songwriters are fine. They're no Alan Menken and Howard Ashman, but they're fine.
Oh no, all I mean is this is the female equivalent to Make a Man Out of You.
Mm-hmm.
Just without
I'd say-
the amazing visuals.
I'd say overall the songs in this movie are pretty good. I mean, there's like one song that I definitely consider that deserves to be in a museum of Disney songs if they ever make that. The Make a Man Out of You.
They do. It's called a Disney archive.
Yeah.
I
And
know
by the
that
way,
it's-
the singing voice of Mulan is Lea Salonga. For those who don't know who Lea Salonga is, she's one of those Disney singers who's always look for whenever we need a singing voice for a Disney female character. She also did the singing voice of Jasmine in Aladdin.
Okay.
Oh, God. I just found out a big bout of irony.
What?
There was a PlayStation action-adventure game based on this movie. Published by you-know-who, Ubisoft of all people.
I remember it being point and click.
Well, it says action-adventure game. Maybe
Were there more than one for the PlayStation?
Let's see. I'm
Christ,
looking
you know, for a minute there, I thought
Let's see if there's any others.
You know, for a minute there, I thought that big woman was holding a gun. Wow.
No.
It's like The Village. The whole thing is just some
Yeah.
big fight.
Let's see, there's a Game Boy game for Mulan, a PlayStation game for Mulan. Which one was it that you thought was point and click, Shiroi?
Like, basically your main objective is to find some scrolls. Like, it's not really...
Wait, are you sure you're not talking about Final Fantasy XIV or Realm Reborn?
No. Hang on, I'll go and find it myself.
14.
Alright.
Hang on, 14 ain't point and click. And
I know. I mean, I just said because she said that we were going to find squirrels because that's literally the first thing you have to do
I
in
said
Realm Reborn.
scrolls.
Oh, squirrels. Oh, okay.
Scrolls! Like ancient scrolls.
Get the squirrel. It's funny, I don't remember having to do that when I played it.
Oh, and I love this. Now she gets the ink from the... Okay.
It was made by Disney Interactive.
Actually, Disney Interactive never actually makes anything. They just publish. They always get developers to do it for them.
Yeah, in which case they're doing with Star Wars Battlefront, they're doing it with EA.
Yeah.
Oh, Disney's involved in that.
Battlefront has been developed by DICE, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, but EA are publishing it.
Yeah. Oh, crap.
Would you have rather have had the alternative of swallowing the bug?
At this point, swallowing the bug seems like a better choice.
Have you seen The Mummy? You'd be dead.
Yeah.
If you'd seen The Mummy with us, you'd know.
Uh-oh, that wasn't a very good idea, Mulan. Dun, 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 dun. Dun.
Awkward.
Sorry.
Okay, Joe, it's very hard to find information on this game, but here's the cover. See if you hang on. See if you recognize it.
Let's see.
You
Oh, Story Studio. Let's see if that matches up with the one. Oh, yep, that's the one.
Mulan.
Yeah, it was point and click then.
Hide your face in shame, Mulan. You have brought disgrace upon the insert name here family.
It's because back in the day, this was the only way women could be useful.
Yeah.
Wonder whether this is an action adventure game, unless it's maybe the Game Boy game they're talking about. Yeah, wow.
Possibly. Yeah. Anyway.
Ah, yes.
Reflection.
Yes, this song. It's pretty good.
It's the best song in the movie, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hang on, wait. I thought you said the one after. So,
I personally have this tied with "I'll Make a Man Out of You" as the best two songs.
So I'm doing two musicals in a row.
Don't worry, dudes. After this is Land Before Time.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like you're suffering anyway, Dwibs.
I'm not saying I'm suffering. I'm just not big on musicals.
Well, to be fair, Dwibs, it's a Disney animated film. If you're not expecting a musical with those,
Well, like I said, Disney ones are probably the ones I can somewhat tolerate.
Any idea why?
It's because
Maybe it's
Disney.
because I'm used.
Well,
Maybe it's
Disney.
because I'm used to it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Of course, that too. But
Have you? Hey, Trevor, speaking of musicals, have you seen the Into the Woods film?
Yes, I have.
Did you like it?
It's fine, but it was kind of... I was expecting much more. It was a bit of a letdown. I mean, it's not a bad film. It's technically good, but man, at times does it feel boring.
I'm surprised, considering the director of that film, Rob Marshall, is mostly a theatre director.
I really love that verse. When will my reflection show who I am inside? An interesting thing is that the Portuguese lyrics actually did a really good job in working out a translation because a direct translation for that verse would not work in the Portuguese language. So they changed it to. Wait, hold on. Let me look it back. I'll bring it back right now.
Let me guess. A direct translation.
Hold on. Let's check. Hold on. Nice scene.
Yeah, I actually like the father in this movie. I mean, I go for a father, who was written in the 90s. He's actually rather understanding of her problems, and the only reason that, and when he does yell at her, it's more a reason of honor, and more a rule sort of thing.
I guess by the late 90s, the whole Little Mermaid way of writing fathers was passé.
Abolished.
Thank goodness.
There was I heard a performance not so long ago of Reflection in Welsh, and it was actually pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, hell, Odin. I wish the Odin style of fatherish thing was kept around like from 4.
All right.
Where Thor was acting like a prick, so he was banished to Earth.
Plot.
So yeah, this is the usual drafting thing. Basically, one man of every Chinese family is obligated to join the army. For the sake of fighting Shan Yu, aka the leader of the invaders.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Mulan's father is the only man in the family, so he has to go, even though he's an old, limp guy.
But I thought the women could fight too.
We're not there yet, Whips. Calm down.
Shit.
In China, I don't know what the rest of you guys' history on China is like, but is it still compulsory for men to join the army in China? Because I know it is in South Korea.
No, this was back in these days. If I remember, I'm pretty sure China's done with this kind of stuff.
I've heard that's what it's like in Korea at some point.
Yes, it is.
Because that Japanese guy from Speed Racer, the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the actor's actually from South Korea, and they have a law where men have to fight at some point.
Yeah, they do.
Or at least join in service with the army.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, here it is. I just found it. Basically, Jove, since the direct translation of that verse would not work in the Portuguese language, we changed it to, it's just that my reflection only has one soul.
That's nice.
So I wonder what the direct translation would have been. Something dirty?
No, not something dirty. It's just that when my reflections show who I am inside, it doesn't sound. Let's just say that particular combination of words doesn't sound very grammatically correct, shall we say?
Ah, okay, I understand that.
Again, language differences. This comes with the territory in terms of translating songs.
Jova, just run a Portuguese song through Google Translate.
The Portuguese language is actually regarded as one of the hardest languages to learn for people outside of Portugal.
Welsh?
That's not from Brazil, obviously. Well, Welsh is English, isn't it?
I thought Welsh was one of the most hardest languages to learn, period.
Well, I don't know which one is the hardest. I'm just saying that Portuguese is considered one of the hardest for people, like, for example, an English person learning to speak Portuguese. I've heard that's very hard from my English teacher.
To be honest, it's kind of hard for us to speak any other language.
Yep, exactly.
Or if you're English anyway, if you're Welsh or Scottish or Northern Irish.
It's because the structure of the Portuguese language is radically different from English. Trust me, I know both languages, so I know what I'm talking about.
Okay. So now we got the typical sadness scene, and it's raining.
Heavily.
Yes. Hey, it was raining heavily. It was raining here earlier, so how fitting.
Yeah.
Symbolizer. Oh, sorry.
But there was no thunderstorm. Please don't go. I know it's the law. I must, dear. It is the only way. I could pretty much guess their dialogue, what they were saying in there. Well, fuck you then. But love, I got no choice. No, fuck you. I'm gonna leave you here instead of being with you in probably could be our last time together.
I'm pretty sure what they're going for, Webs, is that she can't bear to,
lose her father.
Lose her husband.
Oh, yeah, of course. It's a Jerry Goldsmith score. We gotta have a synthesizer in there somewhere.
Oh, come on, Dwibs.
No, it's not a negative. It's just Whereas Jerry Goldsmith, most of his scores have synthesizers in them.
It's interesting because for such an old composer, he was back when he made this. It's interesting how modern he was. You know, you'd think a composer his age would just use orchestra, but no, he was actually adaptable to modern stuff. So that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he mostly it's mostly in his Well, this is most of his films, but most people associate that with his Star Trek scores.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's sad?
I love that. This is the main theme of the movie we're listening to right now, and I really like this theme.
Yeah, I was just gonna say what's sad about Jerry Goldsmith's Star Trek scores is that all but one were for films that sucked.
Revenge of the Sith?
No. I was talking about Trek, I was talking about Star Trek, not Star Wars.
First of all, that's John Williams.
It's Star Wars. Oh, my bad.
Star Trek. Goldsmith did the scores for The Motion Picture, Final Frontier, First Contact, Insurrection, and Nemesis.
This is a very classic trope in Chinese stories, where it's always a tragedy involving the father. Like in Chinese movies, like in Shenmue, it's the same thing. Like Chinese stories, always it's very common. It's quite possibly the most common trope in Chinese stories. The father.
I thought Shenmue was Japanese.
Yes, it is, but it's inspired by Chinese kung fu movies.
And here we get to the point where if she gets found out, she gets killed.
I don't know if that was actually a threat back in real life, but then again, it's probably not a stretch to believe that she probably would have been killed if found out.
Like, for example, the first Shenmue game takes place entirely in Japan, but from the second game onwards, it's all China.
Wonder where the third one's going to take place.
China, too. The first chapter is the only one that takes place in Japan. The entire story is going to take place in China. Anyway.
I wonder if
ladies and gentlemen, Eddie Murphy.
Oh. Well, I haven't played Shenmue 1 or 2, so...
Who knows? Maybe Shenmue 3 may go to China and America. Anywho, yeah, Eddie Murphy. Surprisingly, he does the whole tries to be taken serious but isn't that serious thing, and the whole comedic overtone thing actually rather well. To the point where he kind of blends in. I mean, he still references the culture and whatnot. Yeah, he's more humor-based, but even still, he has a fair amount of serious scenes.
So yeah, Eddie Murphy. I gotta say, there's two modes to Eddie Murphy. There's either really funny Eddie Murphy or painful Eddie Murphy, depending on what film he's in.
Fortunately, this is the funny mode.
Yes.
Granted, when Eddie Murphy is given a bad scenario, I can't really bring it to myself to ever really blame him.
Or in 1,000 words, there's a third Eddie Murphy, the silent one.
Well, actually, Jova, even in stuff like Norbit, for example, he actually wrote that movie, so he's to blame.
Oh, I haven't seen Norbit.
Lose the farm.
That one is his fault.
Still sounds better than 1,000 words.
Hold on, I love this one.
Oh.
I love that joke. Nah, your son was the one who had to be a cross-dresser. Thank you. Hold on.
That guy's voice sounds familiar.
Is that George Takei?
Is that George Takei?
I don't know. Let me check. It
sounds familiar to me, too.
Yes, that is. That's George Takei.
So
awesome.
We've got two people involved in Star Trek in this film. Jerry Goldsmith and George Takei.
Yep.
And, of course, we have Frank Welker.
Frank Welker was in Star Trek?
No, in this movie. He's the cricket. He's the cricket.
Ah, okay.
He's the go-to guy for animal sound effects.
Yep, he's Cricky and Khan, Mulan's horse.
Khan!
Basically, Mushu wants to be a guardian too, but they won't let him because, well, look at him.
Did Eddie Murphy reprise his role in any of the Mulan sequels?
No.
I don't think he
First
did.
of all, there was only one sequel, and he didn't even come back for Kingdom Hearts, or did he? Let me check.
It sounds so much like him in Kingdom Hearts, but I think that may have been a different person.
It sounded like.
Yeah, it sounded like.
One of the better ones, thank goodness. If there's one thing I wouldn't be able to stand, it's a bad Eddie Murphy sound-alike.
Definitely
Well,
better.
I don't like bad sound-alikes, period.
Well, implying that somebody does.
Well, yeah.
Oh yeah, this one. Basically, he killed the big stone dragon guardian. I'm not even kidding. He literally killed him.
Yep.
Murder!
The fact that Mushu, a tiny dragon, managed to do it is quite an accomplishment. Although points taken off for the fact that he was asleep in statue form.
You can tell it's early in the morning because this guy's actually buying it.
You know, I'm glad that Disney has gone back to the point where they're actually allowing themselves to be kind of raunchy like they were back in the day here. Because I tell you, the period in between then and now was... Ugh.
Well, we can't upset the parents, Jova.
Yeah, thankfully Disney... You know, I'm surprised that Disney themselves actually finally screwed that, but I'm proud of them for that. But yeah, basically, Mushu's off to go accompany Mulan and prove himself as a worthy guardian.
So, personal gain.
And once again, we get synthesizer Jerry Goldsmith.
Do you have a sixth sense for synthesizer music?
Basically, the best way I can describe Shan Yu.
I like synthesizer music when it's done well.
Basically, Dwebs, the best way I can describe Shan Yu to you is that he's basically a Marvel villain. He's very intimidating, but he's about as complex as a wood plank.
To be fair, he is part of the Hun. Well, no offense to the Mongolians.
But I love his theme, though. His theme is awesome.
Okay.
Basically, the Hun are a bunch of migrating, shall we say, as the Chinese call them, savages.
So who's the voice of the main villain?
I'll check.
Let's see.
Yeah, I check, but I don't want to lose the video.
Miguel Ferrer.
I have never heard of him.
This villain is so simple. He's basically one of those ones who's like, here is my objective. This is my character.
Let's see. He was the USS Excelsior Helm officer in Star Trek 3.
Huh. Another Star Trek connection.
Yep.
This is like the Disney film equivalent of Gargoyles.
He was Bob Morton in RoboCop.
Ming not trying to sound like a man.
Yeah, big. No one. There's your answer. we should oh yeah, speaking of Eddie Murphy.
And now for a bit of gospel humor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, speaking of Eddie Murphy, you know when we get to the Nutty Professor, which version should we watch first?
The Eddie Murphy version, obviously, it's the better one.
Well, there's three versions actually.
I know, but that's what I mean. The Eddie Murphy version is the better one.
Hold on. What movie are you talking about?
The Nutty Professor.
There's three versions of that?
Yep.
Yeah, 60s one. I think it was 60s. The Eddie Murphy one and an animated one.
Shouldn't we save the Eddie Murphy one for last since that's the best?
I would rather we just do the Eddie Murphy version, but fine.
Well, yeah, you're right. We don't have to look at all of them.
They're all the same movie anyway.
It's just, well, one's Eddie Murphy, the other's...
I actually thought the Jerry Lewis one was pretty good, just not as good as Eddie Murphy. Oh, I like this one. Interesting thing is that actually no, I'll wait for a better moment to bring that up.
Yeah, no slapping.
Maybe this is the way to get around tsundere armor. Act like you're a deity, and then they can't slap you.
Jova, I know a better way of reacting towards tsunderes.
What?
Punching them.
No, just walk away.
Oh. No. Dwibs, what I'm saying is like...
Her man walk.
No, what I'm saying is like...
According to Mushu, this is how men walk.
Yeah, if they really need a toilet.
Forgive me, man.
Wait. Oh, it's a shame. We just skipped one of my favorite jokes. They're disgusting. No, they're men.
Don't worry, I'm gonna walk past you. God damn it, even when I try and sound feminine, trying to be masculine, I'm still... Is he sleep sneezing?
Oh, wait, Okay, Mushu, I'm gonna need you to not talk again.
You know you might squish him to death.
That's a natural Chinese chant they're doing.
Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm wondering, considering these Disney films are really short, I wonder what the longest is.
Land Before Time is actually pretty short too.
No, I meant the longest Disney film.
The longest Disney film is probably...
I don't know, if I felt like Lone Ranger to me.
No, well, I was thinking more of the animated ones, but yeah, I guess. Probably Fantasia. Fantasia is definitely one of the longer ones.
Yeah, God, Lone Ranger felt like it went on for like 5 years.
You spilled the entire rice, woman.
Crying over spilt milk.
Oh boy.
That would be spilled rice, but sure.
It looks like milk to me.
Well, that's just animation. Not animating rice is a nightmare. Trust me, Lips.
So... Anywho, yeah. This is Li Shang and his father.
And here's an interesting thing for those that don't know. His singing voice is actually Donny Osmond.
Really?
And another fun fact in the Chinese dub, Jackie Chan did both his voice and his singing.
Yeah.
How's Jackie Chan as a singer?
From what I've heard of the Chinese version of I'll Make a Man Out of You, pretty good, I guess.
Wait, is Jackie Chan in the English version?
No.
No, he's in the Chinese dub.
Yeah.
Oh.
Why do you ask?
Oh, it's he can speak English somewhat decently,
Well,
can't he?
the thing is that he can't really sing all that well, probably. So I'm guessing Disney probably went with an actual singer like Donny Osmond, someone who actually can sing. Whereas with Disney...
Who's his speaking voice?
His speaking voice, Jova.
Who's speaking? Oh, you mean for the English version?
Yeah.
B.D. Wong.
B.D. Wong. Oh, yeah, Dr. Henry Wu from Jurassic Park and Jurassic World.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Who's now
saying Pedro? Oh, sorry.
I loved how in Jurassic World he's now a mad scientist.
Yeah.
I guess all those years made him.
Oh yeah, here's another he just said, "Good luck, father." Basically, he's the son of the general.
Yeah, I guess all those years studying dinosaurs made him go a bit wacky.
By the way, that guy right there, the guy with the tiny mustache, he's the emperor's advisor, and he's here to supervise the troops and evaluate Shang's training of the troops.
My God, an advisor in a Disney film that isn't evil?
Well, he's not. He's not evil, but he's still a slimy douchebag.
Or tries to stab him in the back.
I know. Huh? What was that, Dwibs?
Emperor's New Groove. The advisor that tried to stab Costco in the back.
Yep.
I know. It's just amazing. An advisor that's not the bad guy. I mean,
Your womanly voice is showing, man.
Yeah, hold on. I love this one.
No, AVG, I do not want to tune up my PC. Go away.
Bless you.
Achoo. Oh yeah, that reminds me of a Chuckle Vision gag. Have you seen Chuckle Vision, anyone?
No.
No.
Sure?
Sorry?
Have you seen Chuckle Vision?
Yes.
It reminds me of a gag they did in that where they're in this monastery with all these monks, and apparently saying "achoo" gets you thrown out of their building.
Alright, add this one. Where she tries to spit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, add this one.
Oh.
Ow!
Well, you're fucked.
Yeah, is this going to go the route of Full Metal Jacket where they pound?
No,
the
Gliz,
Avengers
you realize that you're asking a Disney movie to pull a Kubrick, right?
I think there's one Disney film that did pull a Kubrick, but it's definitely not this one.
Get it? Because Disney did Sleeping Beauty.
Well, this one.
Isn't there going to be a Mulan? Sorry, isn't there going to be a Mulan live-action film?
Let me check.
Hardly. I don't know.
Let me
I don't really see them doing a live-action version of this. Not really.
Ah, here we are. Disney developing live-action Mulan.
Huh.
They are doing it.
Who's working on it?
I'll give you the link. Okay, let's see. The studio bought a script by Elizabeth Martin and Laurent Hinek. On the heels of the magical success of Disney's live-action Cinderella, the studio is eyeing another live-action retelling, Mulan. Disney bought a script by writing team
Oh, yeah,
Elizabeth...
I love this line.
Ah.
Sure, people.
Just,
She's going to kill people. I'm so proud.
I've never been more proud of anyone in my life.
Yeah. I want to cry.
My daughter's a murderer.
Yay!
Oh, how adorable.
Yay! Hey, guess what, guys?
What?
My son's going out to become a. I can't word it.
Oh,
What?
that's nothing, Dribs. My daughter just took over an entire continent in my name.
Oh, I love this
Yeah,
one.
My son destroyed Mars.
Well, my other daughter's yonder, who has quite the high body count. Oh, wait. Oh, it's this scene.
Oh. Okay. Okay. Now.
Also, for those who don't know, that's Harvey Fierstein voicing Yao there.
Alright, here it is. I love this. Okay, hold on. Ooh.
Just push the poll over. Do what Captain America did.
Not that easy, Dwibs.
Basically, this is going to be one of those. I really love those things again because they're going to serve as a great plot device for character development later. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Ow.
At least his teeth are strong.
So now we get to Man Out of You.
Yeah.
Probably the most popular song from this.
Sung by Danny Osmond.
I consider this one of the two absolute top songs of the movie. And also one of the greatest series of scenes.
Oh yeah, I've seen a recorded version of Joseph and His Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, and Donny Osmond was the main star in that.
Oh,
yeah.
irony.
So here's the training montage.
You're the saddest fox I've ever met.
Bunch.
Oh, he said fox.
No.
Pronunciation, Dwibs. Pronunciation.
Disney movie, Dwibs. Disney movie.
Well, then again, we had a Disney movie where our hero robbed banks.
Hmm.
Oh, and there was a Disney movie that started with people hanging.
Yeah.
And there's Hunchback of Notre Dame.
I ain't got a clue.
Alright, everyone, Kung Fu the fish. Oh.
That's not how it's done.
I guess it's to test your reflexes?
My arse is on fire. You know,
That had to hurt.
you know, if this is the best the army can do, I hate to see what they're like in a real battle. They all missed.
An interesting thing is that here.
Oh boy.
Yeah, raging.
Sorry, you were
fire.
saying, Pedro?
Perfect.
Hold on, we're about to get to the pinnacle of the montage. I think. Oh, not yet, actually.
In about a minute, I think. Oh, no. Yeah, just about.
Till the...
Well, it was better than well, at least it's better than getting like. Apparently, the Postman Pat movie did an approach similar to this.
Let's... What?
Please don't talk about that.
How
Get-
you...
They had an actor, but then they had another person do his singing voice.
Here we go.
Auto-tuned Ronan Keating.
Here we go. Unlike Mulan is actually going to take advantage of strength and courage to get the thing. She actually ties a knot with those, and there you go. She actually uses those things to reach the arrow.
Yeah.
So yeah, Shang was right. We really do need that to get the arrow.
And it took one person figuring that out. Yeah, man.
And now she's magically good.
Well, everyone's going to get better now since they actually see a better path.
Dwebs, like they said in that song from Team America, a montage in a montage magically turns shitty people into awesome soldiers.
I don't know what it is about, but maybe everyone should do a montage at one time.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, this montage to me doesn't feel as gimmicky as most montages do because, you know, it actually feels legit that after she figured out how to do that the rest of the people would actually start following her example. I mean, this montage actually shows you the reason that the process gets better.
I believe we are close, my men. I believe we are close, men. Now let's sit here and eat schmoes. No, sorry, s'mores.
Oh, I love this line. Yeah, and by returning to her, we mean burn her alive.
Yeah, they're actually...
It's funny
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Java, go ahead.
This is a great
like this
scene.
scene.
This is a great run of adult humor right here. Basically, she's taking a bath and shit. But Mushu thinks it's dangerous because what if someone shows up?
Yeah.
Yeah, not your smartest idea, Mulan. Oh shit.
This next line here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, two things and one that's missing.
Yeah.
Cannonball.
No, all I was going to say was about Make a Man of You. The first line is, let's get down to business. And me and my friends were at a restaurant one time. When the waiter came over to take the order, he actually said the words, let's get down to business. And me and my friends burst out into that song, just out loud in the middle of a restaurant.
They just censored that guy Austin Powers style.
Milan, your voice is slipping again.
Okay, what time are you guys at? My video kind of buffered.
43, 39, 40, 41, 42.
Okay, I'll just go ahead to 44, 46.
Well, you gotta wait a solid minute. I wonder if it's like these guys don't even have any idea. It's like the poor guys have no idea that they're kind of being, perverse, and they have no idea that they're being that.
That's the joke.
The worst kind, an accidental pervert.
Yeah.
Like Mark Hamill would tell you, if you had to explain the joke, then it's not a joke.
What?
She just said, I never want to see a naked man again.
And then boom.
She seemed like 26.
Too late.
Okay, 10 seconds to go. Okay, and click.
There you go.
Ah.
Anyway, basically the advisor doesn't think the troops are ready.
Oh, wow, I'm halfway through this film and I've had no video issues.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's surprising. Oh wait, never mind. That's right.
Don't jinx it, Jova.
Well, I probably jinxed it. Anyway, so what more could
I love how his beard is literally just a hair.
Well, 3 hairs.
Like, I mean,
So
even the girliest of men have at least more than just one hair.
The design.
Even girls have more facial hair than that guy.
The design of disguised Mulan kind of reminds me of Prince Zuko, only without the eye burn.
Yeah, I can see that.
Well, actually, the Fire Nation's outfits were inspired by Chinese culture, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Actually, the Fire Nation was more inspired off of Japan, but then again, this was Japan back in the older days when they were much more similar to China. So, yeah, I believe it was the Earth Kingdom that was more Chinese.
That's why I said Chinese, because the guys who actually China was the country who invented these costumes before Japan used it.
But Jova, Pedro, I thought the Fire Nation were made to be Indian.
Get out of here, Get out of here, Shyamalan. No one likes you anymore.
But I made 6 cents.
True, but
Yeah,
how long?
what if you made since Sixth Sense and
Did
Unbreakable?
anyone like him to begin with?
We liked him with Sixth. Well, from what I've heard, people liked him because of Sixth Sense and Unbreakable, and some defended him when he started making bad films. But by the time of Last Airbender, even some of his long supporters abandoned him.
Even Chris Stuckman abandoned him. Trust me, you have to fail really bad to get Chris Stuckman to abandon you.
Well, he hates. Well, he really didn't like Left Behind, and he's a really big fan of Vic Armstrong's stunt work.
I know.
Basically,
But
Last Airbender.
I'm just saying that because Chris Stuckman is quite possibly the most forgiving critic I've ever seen.
Let me guess, he was a big M. Night Shyamalan fan until Last Airbender.
He claims Signs is the greatest thing ever made, or some shit like that. I'm not even kidding. But anyway, we're getting off topic. Let's just.
Yeah.
Well, that could be something. What if the director of the Mulan live-action film was like Shyamalan or something?
Why?
Well, I doubt that'll happen, considering After Earth.
Oh yeah, that's right. Originally, way back in the day, Disney had originally wanted to make a live-action Mulan film, but for some reason they decided not to go through with it. But now they're going to give it another go, since Cinderella and the like are doing good, and since they seem to be on a roll with their live-action stuff.
Hopefully they'll do it justice, like apparently Cinderella is the best adaptation of it, you said?
I still can't believe that Tim Burton's the one who's now at the helm of the live-action Dumbo film.
With Aaron Kruger writing it.
Why?
Dumbo film done by Tim Burton. This could end up looking very trippy.
Just why? Actually, I can see. Actually, Jova, if there's ever is a live-action director who can do justice to the pink elephant scene, it's Tim Burton.
I agree. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the reason why.
That's
You know,
probably
they're
that's probably the. I mean, even Disney themselves know that the most memorable scene of that movie is the pink elephant scene. So they probably got. So that's probably what they got. One of the most.
Wait. Okay. I just realised, weren't people accusing Dumbo back then of being racist?
It
The birds
kind of
mostly.
is-
Not the whole story, the
Then,
birds.
if you're gonna, I mean, every animation in back in those days was racist. You know,
Well, I mean,
that was back when America was racist as all hell.
And also,
the problem,
and also-
basically,
hang on, and
basically,
also- sorry.
hold on.
And also considering Erin Kruger co-wrote Transformers 2, and that had racism problems.
Ugh.
To be fair, basically, this was back in the. I forget. This is. I mean, yeah, a lot of Disney films were racist, but this is one of the ones that was more racist than the others, particularly the Black Crows. Let's just say that sort of had to do a thing that may have been around the time with blackface and whatnot. And this is sort of around the time where Disney pulled an entire movie from theaters, Song of the South.
I've
Yeah.
never heard of that film.
Oh, there's a let's just say, Dwebs, Disney wants you to never know about that film.
Is that? I wonder if that's one of them films where the director went under the Alan Smithy name.
Well,
So,
oh yeah,
yeah.
we went
Yeah.
from a musical song about fighting for women back at home to now quite a gruesome scene. The entire
Mood Whiplash.
It's almost like level 5.
No. That's plot convenience, Shiroi.
No, she doesn't mean that. She's talking more
I'm talking
about.
about the mood whiplash.
She's talking about the mood whiplash and stuff like Nino Kuni and the Yokai Watch.
Snack World.
Not so much Leighton.
The crossover, though.
Well, the crossover was already set a dark tone right from the beginning. It wasn't so, but that's different.
We'll talk about it when we get to it. Anyway, yeah.
So yeah, sad moment. Is that her village that got burnt down, or was it just some
No.
random village?
Well, this is just the doll from
It's the
earlier that he
village
was
where the-
talking about.
Yes, even the little girl was killed, albeit off screen. But yeah, everyone in the village is dead.
Not just the
And
village.
as for the troops, well,
Ooh. Well, I'm sure they fought to the end.
they did, including his father.
Daddy, no. I will wear your helmet in your honor.
Actually, he won.
Oh. Now I stand on the cliff in utter agony.
Honestly, this scene's very well done.
Crashing it for a minute there, I thought he was going to stab himself with the sword.
No, this isn't Kingdom Hearts.
This isn't Japan with seppuku, and even still, I don't think this would be a cause for seppuku. Wait, Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah.
She's talking about the moment where that scene from Kingdom Hearts 1, Jova.
From Kingdom
With
Hearts.
Sora?
Jova, come on.
Oh, bad. Well, I get that. But I mean, well, I'm confused as why this scenario would be similar.
No, it's Dwebs talking about the stabbing themselves and
Yeah, I knew about that. I thought you just meant in this certain scenario.
Huh.
Okay.
Wait. Rousing speech to the troops, and this came out the same year as Braveheart.
Mhm.
I guess 1998 was the year of big rousing speeches on horses.
Yep.
Still, yeah, it's fine as long as you don't get Keira Knightley to try and do that.
Keira Knightley.
Remember in Pirates 3, Jova,
Yep.
where she was
Oh!
yeah, that was painful.
That was about as convincing as, well, it was not convincing. Let's just leave it at that.
As far as convincing as getting people to believe that that Charlize Theron is somehow less attractive than Kristen Stewart.
Stewart, oh, trust me. When we get to that
Oh,
movie,
we're gonna
I
have
have
a-
trust me. I have a lot to say about that movie.
I wonder if you're going to make any jokes about the whole Kristen Stewart and the director getting it on.
No, I'm just gonna talk about how this is the stupidest magic mirror ever.
So yeah,
Yeah. This music actually does. This music track here kind of reminds me of a track in Star Trek V. A little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry
Goldsmith is one of those composers where all you have to do is listen to a track by him, and you can almost immediately tell it's him. He has a very distinctive style.
Yeah. It's a shame his last score for... Well, his last accepted score was for, of all films, Looney Tunes Back in Action.
This is your fault, man.
This is all your fault.
It's interesting because here Disney when Disney Portugal does dubs for Disney movies, they always try to get the best possible Portuguese equivalent of the specific voice. Like, for example, our Portuguese Gaston was pretty much almost exactly like the original. Like, but when it comes to there's no such thing as a Portuguese equivalent of Eddie Murphy, so we just decided to make. We decided to give Mushu a different type of wacky voice. Because
so they have one canon.
Trust me. There's no way a Portuguese Eddie Murphy could be found. It just doesn't work here.
Hey Pedro, I wonder, when you get Portuguese dubs, do you get the option of listening to it either in English or Portuguese?
Well, of course, DVDs and Blu-rays have alternate audios, don't they?
I meant in the cinema.
Oh, in the cinema, yeah, we do.
Okay.
So yeah, an entire army.
The annoying part is that if you want to watch the animated films in the original language with subtitles, then you have to go see them at night, not at day. That kind of annoys me because I don't really like going to the cinema at night.
Well, it seems to me like for Mission Impossible 5, I won't have any choice but to see it at 8:30.
So yeah, have fun fighting this army in Kingdom Hearts 2.
I'll be right back.
Well, it's not like we actually, again, well, I can say it because Lips is not here. It's not like Mulan actually fights the entire army in the movie anyway, so this is...
Oh, I know that. I'm not complaining or anything. I'm just saying have fun because they sort of have a fight.
I was much more disappointed. I was much more disappointed with not fighting Frollo in the Kingdom Hearts 3D.
Yeah.
Granted, he's an old man, so probably it wouldn't make sense for him to... But that could just...
Probably would have been a bit too controversial as beating up an old guy.
Oh, come on now. If we're supposed to fight Xehanort as old as he is, and considering all the, they've been turned into a heartless excuses that Kingdom Hearts usually gives, I'm sure we could have found a way to fight him.
True. Then again, without Tony J, it's just not the same.
One hit is not always the best. Well, except in this case. Smart move.
That's another interesting thing. Mulan is pretty much the only smart character in this army.
It's nice to have a smart and a protagonist.
Yeah, what I don't like is that aside from Shang, every single other male in this movie is a moron, and this was pretty much the start of those feminist films where you make the main female the smartest one, and then every man is a moron aside from Shang.
I'm kind of going to disagree, because when the case of here, they're not necessarily being morons, but they're thinking with the usual Chinese army mindset, we'll take down the leader and that will solve the problem. I wouldn't call them so much as them being dumb, but more so the fact that Mulan thinks more outside the box.
I guess, yeah. I guess you're
these guys would just follow army regulations, whereas Mulan is actually thinking about other ways to do this.
Yeah. It's like I keep saying, this is quite possibly one of the best female protagonist-driven movies.
And now you're making me think of what would a Disney movie be like if it was written by Anita Sarkeesian. Anita Sarkeesian, the most annoying feminazi of all time. Basically, she's Queen Feminazi, basically.
Who?
Anita Sarkeesian. Basically, she's the most annoying feminazi ever. Basically, as far as she's concerned, every person that has a dick is evil. I'm not even kidding. The woman is completely nuts. Just trust me on that.
One of those people who don't actually know what feminism is.
Oops.
Yeah. Basically, just because you're a feminist doesn't mean you think all men are evil.
I know. Trust me, dude. Don't worry, dude. She gets plenty of shit for what she says. Don't worry.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. From both men and women.
Oh shoot, that's a sheer drop.
Like, I mean, I'll give. Hold on. I'll add this joke.
Oh. Okay, so what are you going to say, Pedro?
What's her name
Speak
again?
about at least
Like-
who?
Hold on, let me.
I like how the pacifist biggest one is the strongest one. And he's the pacifist.
He's pulling a horse with 2 people on it.
Actually, well, considering how we established how the fat guy is incredibly strong, yeah.
True.
Well, then again, there were literally like 10 men pulling them, so it's forceful enough.
Yeah.
It's enough manpower. Makes sense.
Ironic manpower, because one of them isn't a man. Yeah.
Unfortunately, as we saw in the earlier scene, Shan Yu wounded her.
Oh my god, blood in a Disney film.
Don't worry.
Actually, Dwibs, as Jova brought it up earlier, Disney is back to this kind of stuff because in Tangled you can actually see blood too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I said, Disney's back to their mindset of, hey, we can be a bit raunchy. We don't have to please every single parent.
Could you imagine an 18-rated Disney film?
So they managed to avoid that so far.
I think we already had that. It was called Song in the South.
Wait. But
Song in the South is considered one of the most racist movies ever made.
Yeah, but I'm not quite sure it was rated that because, well...
It's so racist, just to give you an idea, Joe, it's so racist that Disney never actually re-released it.
Racist.
The last time it was released, it was in VHS, I think.
I know that it's racist. Heck, I was the one who told Dwibs, Disney will do everything in their power to make sure you never see that film again.
Yeah.
Which is surprising because they still made remixes of it in their Disney Mania soundtrack and listed from Song of the South.
Well, that's because they only took it from the animated part of it.
I get that.
They like to pretend that the movie is just that.
Yeah.
So obviously, because she had to have a medical exam,
So, yeah,
there's no way they weren't going to find
So yeah,
out that she
Mulan
was a
committed. So yeah, the penalty for fooling the army is death. So okay. Yeah, you know the law. Sorry.
So suddenly, even though she saved all your lives and did a better job than
hold
you...
Hold on, Shiroi. You know what's happening.
I know.
What?
A life. She saved his life, so therefore he doesn't kill her. You know, a life for a
Also,
life.
it's symbolic.
I like
Also,
that.
it's also symbolic because in a way, to him, Ping is dead.
I really love the Chinese the tone of this movie because it's very similar to old Chinese martial arts movies. Like the way they speak, the music, the overall. Just the overall atmosphere of the movie. It feels a lot like an old Chinese movie.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't know. I don't really watch Chinese movies all that much. The closest I've ever got to that was Mission Impossible 2.
Well, I'm talking about I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about old Chinese martial arts movies.
All right.
So like Kung Pao or Kung
No,
Fury.
not Kung Pao. Kung Pao was based on the Tiger of the Crane Fist. What I'm talking about is actual Chinese. You know how Chinese martial arts movies tend
Stuff with Bruce Lee and all that.
Yeah, Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, that kind of stuff. Like
Bluntly truthful, but with a touch of reassurance.
I suppose. By the way, nice new avatar, Jova.
Ah, thanks.
Okay.
Ouch.
But I saw my reflection earlier.
Basically, when she feels that she sees nothing, she feels that she's completely lost her way. She feels she's disgraced her family and that she's kind of worth nothing, as in, like, well, which kind of hits home. And now for an actual good scene with Mushu.
Some actual reassurance, too.
From Eddie Murphy. No, I'm a zebra in disguise.
I had my stripes dyed.
Yeah. It was either all white or all black, so I took the cooler option.
Aww.
Okay, now we got the
The
birdie.
falcon. Well, the bird.
Yeah, the
I think
bird.
it's a falcon or an eagle.
It's a falcon.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
Ah. How did I survive that?
It's actually possible.
convenience.
It's possible.
It's actually possible to survive it, but only 5 people survived.
And needless to say, he's not too happy about that.
Don't do that, you'll cause another avalanche. I'm surprised I didn't die because I had no clothes on.
Yeah, he should have died.
If I,
Wrong.
No, but sure, we have to have some kind of a climax.
Not to mention the fact that they're sort of used to that climate because they're the Han Mongolians who are used to the whole moving around thing.
I guess.
At least they're not as bad as they are in South Park.
it's Chinese New Year! By the way, my Chinese finger's the rooster.
What's yours, Joy?
Oh gosh, Aries. So is that a
No, no,
rooster?
no, Chinese, not
No, I'm trying to
Aries?
think what it equates to. I was 93, so
rooster.
Aries. What's Aries?
well,
That's the star sign.
that's the
Sheila, I'm
zodiac.
talking about.
That's the star sign. I'm just trying to think what it equates to with the year 1993.
Well, I was born in '93, so rooster.
Probably, yeah. There we go then.
You're the
But
boar.
wait, how come you're a year older than me? Oh,
April of 93.
mine was December, so
There we go.
yay! I was born 6 days before Christmas. Woo!
Oh,
Lucky me.
Yeah.
Mate, I'm trying to save your life here. You're shunning me because I got a vagina? Fuck you.
Well,
No,
he's also shunning her because
it's
she
not
lied
it's
to
not-
him.
It's not because of that. Yeah, like what Chova said.
It's because of the lie.
He doesn't like.
Yeah.
He doesn't like the fact that he,
You lied to me. Yeah, it might take a while.
Sorry, honey. Sorry, honey. No one believes anyone with a vagina in this country. Not yet, anyway.
Again, that'd be like if there were an era where people won't believe us just because we have a dick.
well, if Tumblr feminists have their way,
Oh, crap.
I don't know if any of you have
Wax.
seen-
I'm sorry.
oh no, I was gonna say I don't know if any of you have seen that video called #equality, but it's hilarious. You were saying, Pedro?
No, I was just making a Mr. Miyagi joke.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you know what? Fine, you can die. You won't listen to me. Oh, and sorry if it's bent.
That's just the Mongolian style.
Yeah. Oh.
It's a pretty interesting sword.
Mm-hmm. Well, that happened.
Surprised they didn't break him when they dragged him back.
Oh, come on, Shiroi. You cannot kill Mr. Miyagi. That's impossible.
Yeah. When are we going to watch the Karate Kid films?
No, never. Ever.
Oh, come on. The first one is actually pretty good.
I've only seen one of them. Guess which one?
The third
Next
one.
The fourth one, I'm guessing.
Fourth.
Well,
It
if
was
you're
the
gonna,
fourth one you saw?
well, if you're gonna watch the crap one, come on. The people who made the first one weren't even involved in the sequels. Actually, I think they were involved in the second one,
Well, that
but
was
not.
the only one I had access to, so...
Like that's like watching Home on a Range as your only Disney movie. I mean, come on.
What about
I love the irony of them playing the song Be a Man as they're cross-dressing.
what about the remake, the Jackie Chan one?
Yeah, that's the one
that was-
I've seen.
Oh yeah, the Jackie Chan one is the best one. Like it's even better
Wait, the
than the
one with
original.
the one with, is it Will Smith's son?
Yeah.
Well, no, actually, again, it's true that Jaden Smith can't act very well, but there he actually had Jackie Chan to back him up. So the new movie actually was even better than the original, I thought. Even Doug mentioned that in his old versus new shit.
That was the one I saw, actually.
Wait, that was the one you saw?
Yeah.
But that movie's pretty good. What are you talking about?
I don't like the child.
Oh, that. Well,
Then again, if it's called the Karate Kid and you don't like the child, then well,
No, just the actor. Everything else was fine, but
how can
as
how
he's the
can
main
mirrors,
character, it's kind of unbearable at times.
how can mirrors be real if our eyes aren't real?
Anywho. So yeah, they need to sneak in. So what's the best way, of course?
Cross-dressing.
The concubine. part, of course.
Yeah, I'm. How these guards are fooled by this, I have no idea.
And
they're
to be
they're mook squibs. They're dumb.
And to be fair, cross-dressing was very much a thing in Chinese day, especially with how... I wonder if China also did the kabuki stuff.
If you'd have tried this nowadays, where we have all the tech and prosthetic stuff, then you might have had a chance, but...
It depends on how good the disguise is, which in this case is good enough. Enough makeup and boom!
Oh, that's fine.
I also love this next motion here.
Oh.
He just sort of walks away.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I can actually do the whistling as he does it.
Wax on, wax off. Wax on, wax off.
Yep.
Yeah, we're going to throw you off a building. Oh. If I'm in there, I thought they're going to throw him off the building.
That would be murder.
Well, again, this is Disney. You could probably survive a fall like that.
Unless you're a villain.
Or if you're Samuel L. Jackson and The Rock in that movie I saw today. The Other Guys.
Not getting away that easily.
Yeah, hey Joe, have you seen this film, The Other Guys?
No.
Well, basically, Samuel L. Jackson and The Rock jumped off a building thinking they'd land in trees as they were chasing these criminals. But guess what the result was?
Death?
Yep, they died. What did they think that was going to happen? There were these hotshot cops and they died from their own stupidity.
Well, now you're fucked.
This is it. One-on-one and tactical retreat.
You could have killed the other guy before you left.
And to be fair, he's after Mulan because she's the one who humiliated
Yeah, but what
him.
if he comes for, like, to assist or something?
He's a Hun. He doesn't care. What he cares right now is the fact about taking down the warrior that ended his whole army.
Not to mention, as I've already established, she's the most dangerous soldier in China, so...
He doesn't care who it is. He'll kill them either way.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this one. he looked a bit like Darkwing Duck there.
Wow, threatening Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy is Batman.
I can imagine it now.
Look a little more like Darkwing Duck to me, but sure.
Well, Darkwing Duck is a whole parody off of Batman as well.
True. But I was talking more about the overall design and shit.
I will use the fan
I guess
as
it's
a
the
weapon.
Batwing
Nice.
thing for me.
Kick. Wait a minute. I just set a rocket. Rockets explode! Good.
Bon voyage!
Ah, no, this is where we blow up.
Not
today.
It reminds me of those YouTube parodies I see of that scene. They just take the scene, but when Buzz is halfway through saying "not today," they blow up. This is the part where we blow up. Not to.
Yeah.
Yay! Party time!
Well, what better way to celebrate a victory?
Oh, you're such a party pooper.
She saved the town, you prick.
Don't worry, that's what he's saying. Mr. Miyagi speaks, so everybody shuts up.
Okay. You're banished.
By the way, this was said during the trailer. This is actually the opening to it.
But you're still paying the bills to repair my palace. I wonder if Jerry Goldsmith did any other soundtracks for Disney films.
No, this was the only one.
Ah.
Surprising.
Well, I guess Goldsmith's animated scores were mostly for like Don Bluth or actually, I think his animated scores are very few and far between.
Yeah, it wasn't James Horner the one doing Don Bluth's movies?
No, Jerry Goldsmith did Secret of Nim.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Well, he did only Secret of Nim, if I remember correctly.
I love this
Well,
slide.
1 second.
You're fired.
Yeah. Yeah, this is actually a thing in history. Back in the day, the Emperor offered her a big position and everything, but in the end, all she took was just his finest horse.
I will give you this slightly deformed sword.
Technically not deformed, it came like that.
Basically, it's the Emperor's necklace combined with the Chinese sword, which are definitive proof of what she did for China. And this will honor her family. I mean, the fact that she killed Zhang Yu, that alone will bring more honor.
She saved an entire nation.
So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit, I need to learn how to talk to women better.
Yeah. I think that's what Mulan 2 is for.
God damn it, I'm so used to women already being pre-made for me. Now I have to actually work for this one. Jesus Christ.
What's Mulan 2 like? I haven't seen that one.
It's okay-ish.
I
By
call
Disney-
it
by- by
I call it a
Disney-
good movie,
by
but
Disney, Disney
it's
sequel
nowhere.
standard. By Disney sequel standards, it's fine enough.
I'll basically say this: it's a good film, but what it lacks from the first film is the high stakes. I'd say I'd say every problem with that movie basically starts with the fact that the stakes don't feel nearly as high in the second film as they do with this film.
Hold on. This is actually my favorite scene in the movie. This is the most emotional scene in the movie, probably.
Hi, Dad! I'm back from saving all of China.
And me. I'm safe and sound, don't worry.
Aww.
Oh, this line that coming from Granny.
Wait, this next
Hold
line.
Hold on.
Yeah, there's going to be a next one.
That's right, ladies. If you sign up to be in the war, your life will be better. You'll get fame, possible
this bit
options
here
of
too.
power.
Oh, I love this one.
Oh,
Wow.
Eddie Murphy just got George Takei to say it.
Yep. Well done. You managed to humble George Takei. What? Modern song now?
It's because it's the credit song.
Well, that and it's Eddie Murphy, so... Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And sudden dog and chickens.
Oh, boy.
And that was Mulan.
Yep.
Yeah,
There's no credit scene or anything, is there?
No.
I don't think so.
Okay, so I can come off the link.
Wow. Like 5 screenwriters. Interesting.
Huh, less than The Little Mermaid, and they produced a better script. Julia Hart. Oh, yeah, I like this song as well.
Yeah. So yeah, final thoughts. Yeah, it's a pretty awesome movie, I felt. I like how they kept the Chinese tone pretty much just perfectly. Because one thing that I love about Chinese martial arts movies is that how, even though they're very simple in structure and the stories are very linear and predictable, they still manage to derive a lot of emotion from there's a beautiful charm in the simplicity of it all, and this movie actually surprisingly captured that well. And I never really thought I would see Americans do that well, but then again, these people probably are. From what I've seen in the credits, some writers are actually Chinese, so that's probably where it came from. Oh,
sorry.
You'll get your turn, Jova.
Right.
But yeah, I love the score. The songs are pretty good. The characters are great. It's a heartfelt story and beautifully animated. So yeah, pretty awesome movie. Go ahead, Jova.
This was definitely back in the day when Disney was stepping their game up, allowing people from different nationalities to help out, but also they were becoming a bit more culturally diverse. Believe it or not, Mulan was actually a movie that was, shown in theaters in China to also actually help out with relations between America and China, believe it or not. And, yeah, not quite sure how it worked out, but it was definitely a good effort. Anywho, about the movie itself, it's definitely an awesome one. I consider it one of Disney Animation's best. The story is great. The messages are well told. In fact, nothing actually feels force-fed to you at all. all the points come together perfectly. No one character feels too overly annoying, and the way they incorporate Eddie Murphy's character, Mushu, the whole modernish character, is actually very well done. I mean, he has good scenes, remarkable scenes. He doesn't come off as too gimmicky. And yeah, it feels like this movie was a movie that did, a lot of things that would later become gimmicks in movies actually rather well. So yeah, I'd say it's an awesome film. Definitely one of Disney's best, and I hope that the live-action adaptation will do it justice.
I hope so too.
All right, Dibs.
Okay.
But yeah, I gotta say I like this movie better than Little Mermaid.
We all did.
Well, then again, it appeals more. Well, then again, it's more actiony, and I'm always an action guy.
And it probably does the whole women thing better.
Definitely.
Yeah. I don't. I never really have I never have long explanations of whether I like a film or not immediately after I watch it, unless it's something like Chappie or Ballistic or something like that. But yeah, I like it. Next.
Sure.
Alright then, like I said, my favorite Disney motion picture.
Disney Animation Studios film.
Disney Animation Studios film. Sorry, my words are a bit muddled there. Very well written. You get the perfect balance of comedy and also seriousness and touching moments, which is showcased very well through the characters and their various actors and actresses. The music is amazing. The animation is beautiful. Yeah, all around, well, a very nice message. All around great movie.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it from me.
All right, in that case, we're pretty much done, audience.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, about the soundtrack, yeah. I think I see what they're going for with this soundtrack. I get the feeling that they were trying to move away from their usual style with their soundtracks. Like, how usually most Disney soundtracks had, the usual overall, what's the word? Epic sort of feel. Like, even with Little Mermaid, they had stuff like the chorus, Lion King, you had the whole, big dramatic pieces and stuff like that. I feel that this soundtrack was sort of a step away from that. Done good. This was more what's the word? More less epic, but more kind of down to earth, but sort of like yeah, I know. It's sort of like if you compare Disney's Marvel movies, they're just technically part of Disney. It's like if you compare the Marvel movies to the usual epic grand tale that a Disney fantasy story tells. This one feels more like it feels like the superhero counterpart to, say, an epic fantasy realm. It's more action-oriented and, yeah, a lot more kung pao in a way.
Well, sorry, Joe, but we're done. See you, everybody.
So,
Wait a minute. Wait, hold it.
The audience can listen for the song themselves, Jova. Let's just end this. See you, everybody.
But I actually...
YouTube is a thing.
Yes, YouTube is a thing, Jova. See you, everybody.
See ya.
All right, we'll see ya.
Look, credits are over. Shut up.